Hello, and welcome to the hello, everybody, and welcome to the Eyes of Life show. I am your host, Yolo Schubert, and I come to tell you about our topic today. Our topic is family ties. Now, what is ties? To me, our family ties are our cousins, our siblings, our parents, our aunts, our uncles. Does it matter if it's not your immediate family? Does it matter if it's not your, second or third generation? It matters. Family is family. Your ties to your family consist of you being a part of something great. For instance, I have three siblings and they have children. They they are my immediate family. But then I have my grandmother. Well, her siblings didn't have any children. Then I have her mother. Well, her siblings did have children. So yes, they are still my family. And then I have my second great grandmother who had about 11 siblings. And yes, they are my families. And then when you get to her mother, which is a third great grandmother, she even has siblings. All of that is your family. That is your family tie. Your family ties are your family because that growth of individuals that come from those people in those different lines. So when I talk about family, and I want to talk about family today because the summer is coming, and a lot of us are going to have family reunions, family gatherings, family picnics. All these things are going to come up during the summertime. So when they come up during the summer, this is when we supposed to participate. Now, it doesn't matter and it shouldn't matter if it's not your immediate family. The fact that it is a family and we're planning to get together, that is what's important. That is how we continue to build family relationships. Now, when, you know, families say, oh, well, they're just a distant cousin, it doesn't matter. Excuse me, pardon me, I have to fix my glasses here. They don't want to stay up. It shouldn't matter what they are, whether it's a first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th cousin, generational cousin. Family is family. That's the bottom line. Family is actually family, and we should acknowledge them, not act like they don't exist. So this summer, when your family is having a family that actually have a cookout, go to the cookout. If they're having a family gathering, even if it's not in your state, I hear this all the time amongst family members. I want to go to Edgefield, for instance. Let's use Edgefield, McCormick, Virginia, Jersey, New York. I have families in these areas. I even have some in Australia, believe it or not. But the key here is no, we can't make all of them. But when there are family events, we should support them, even if we don't know them that well. How can you get to know someone if you're not there to support them, to get to know them? I mean, to me, that makes a little bit of sense because we're not there to actually give them the support. We don't know them. So, therefore, let's try to get to know them. I have gotten to know so many of my family members just through, like, we have a Facebook page called Calling Our Branches. They had a whole Calling Our Branches family reunion. I've gotten to know so many family members that no, I didn't grow up with. I have a family Zoom. And that's because we are all in different areas. So we still have a connection. We still make time for one another. We still get together and we still actually talk. We, we talk about how many times we're going to get together, what we getting together to do, you know, who's doing something this summer, you know, can we do something as a family this summer? So yes, these things all come into play. And I just would like to hope that at some point today in this time that we start wanting to actually get together and hang out with one another, do a potluck, you know get your children, your grandchildren involved. I feel sorry that we're going to lose our family because we don't have the family connections that we used to have. We don't do the family gatherings. We don't do the family cookouts like we used to have. You may find that one or two family members, maybe three family members that may do a little family cookout. Okay. But then when it's a funeral, we always say, hey, why aren't we, getting together as much? Because, we're family. We shouldn't just only get together at funerals. Well, when there are events, we turn around and we don't even go. Now that's sad. That's truly sad. I'm sorry I'm having some technical difficulties here with my Wi-Fi, not knowing what's going on. It's not so much my Wi-Fi; it has something to do with Facebook. Apparently, they're changing their the way they're allowing people to go live these days, and that's sad that they're doing that because how do you get the word out? Because it is a social media. But I guess they're blocking certain things, they don't want, you know, certain things to be said. Um, but this is our platform, you know, where we can express our voice, our opinions, but yet they want us to express our opinions, but to a degree, you know, not for everything. But this is how we reach one another. Everybody is literally um, on Facebook, they on Instagram, they on, some type of social media they're on. So what I would like to say is let's just please do something with your family this year. You know, this is this is how we keep our family going. The memory of our family, we keep it going that way. So when there's a reunion, there's a cookout, let's go. You know, one of my families is having a reunion over in Texas. You know, I'm not able to go, and for those that wasn't able to make that trip, you know, some of us still decided to even get together, you know, and meet up in Edgefield, meet up in McCormick. You know, it wasn't as expensive for us to meet up there, but yet we're still making an effort to get together as family. We even had T-shirts made. So I actually sent out the information for the family gathering, for the T-shirts, and even if you wasn't able to make the gathering, you know, to support the fact that, you know, you are a member of this family, and to acknowledge that, you know, that's a blessing in it. Not forgetting those that paved the way for us. We're so busy running from each other, we're not even thinking of the blessings and the things that were given to us. I look at it, you know, those siblings were separated. Some of their kids we know, some we don't. I've learned in the last 5 to 7 years about my grandma Delia's siblings and their children. I learned about her husband Jeremiah Key and his siblings and their children. And it's so much. It is so much to know. It's so many family. It's till it's. I'm gonna use what cousin Miriam would say. If we held hands from New York to probably California, we can wrap it around at least twice. When you look at your family ties to the south, to the north, you have to know they came from somewhere. So why aren't we trying to be family? What is stopping us from being family? What is stopping us from inviting a cousin to a birthday party? What is stopping us from inviting another family member to a cookout? Sure, we always say, oh, well, we have our differences of opinion, but you can't resolve a difference if you don't talk to one another. Life is too short for family grudges, for personal grudges. Life is entirely too short for that. So, yes, I believe we need to work on that. And as we go through the summer months, as we go through seeing our different cousins and our different friends, just like you can get together with those friends, you can get together with your family. Just like y'all can go hang out at a club, you can go hang out with your family. So let's stop ignoring one another and try loving on one another. None of us is actually perfect. So why aren't we trying to show love to one another? And that's going to be something we're going to go into next season. We're going to talk about what's holding family togetherness back. I believe if we can find the solution then the problem can be fixed. There's no one tearing us apart now but our own self. We're tearing ourselves apart. We're tearing ourselves apart from one another. So when you take a look in the mirror, try asking yourself, what is the problem? And then come up with the solution. Come up with a way to fix it, to make those great grandmoms proud, those great greats and ancestors, to make them proud of us. I don't believe they're very proud of us right now. I was talking to a few people, and some of the ones that I talked to, they don't even know what their great grandparents or great great grandparents even look like, or even know who they were. And I'm like, wow, that's kind of sad because I actually knew my grandmother and great grandmother. I didn't get to meet my second great grandmother because she passed before I was born, but I got to meet her mother, and that was a beautiful and loving thing because I got to meet her as a child. A lot of them can't say that. A lot of these children today that are in their teens, in their early 20s, if we don't lead them into unity, our family is gone. They're not going to know who their family actually is. And I think that's so sad. So as you go through the summer and during those holiday seasons, do a potluck. If you don't want to cook all the food yourself, say, hey, wait a minute, I don't feel like cooking all this food. Let's see if we can do a potluck. Let's see if we can actually get together and plan something. And it doesn't necessarily have to be the 4th of July, Memorial Day, Labor Day. It could be any day, any weekend day that when a lot of family members are off. And don't be afraid to travel. Like, I actually live 2.5 hours away from my family. But if I have well enough and well notice, you know, I know in advance, I can place it on my calendar and make sure I can make it. And I'm literally in between 2.5 hours with my immediate family, whether I'm going into Philadelphia, whether I'm going into Washington, D.C. I'm literally that 2 hours away. But the fact is, I try to do everything in my power to make sure if I know about it, I want to try to make it. I don't want to ignore that. I don't want to act like it doesn't exist. Like, oh, well, I don't know these people. Why should I go? That's not the right attitude to have. We cannot label ourselves as Christians. I don't care if you're in the Muslim faith or the Baptist faith, the Methodist faith, whatever faith you're in or religion that you're in, you cannot claim that if you're not trying to bring unity. Unity is something that is so important. I must say, by the time I was 16 years old, 17 years old, I knew almost all of my great grandmother's siblings' children. That was a blessing for me. Why? Because my grandmother, my mother, they all made sure when there were family functions, we were there. So we would know who this cousin is and who that cousin is. So when we're growing up and we meeting men and we meeting women, we don't accidentally make that mistake and date our cousin. And when that person show up at the front door, your mother or your grandmother say, uh, this is your cousin. Y'all cannot date. So this is why another reason family is important. In this day and time, we should know who we are. Our ancestors fought too hard to try to stay together. An aunt's child taken away, an uncle's child taken away, that grandmother, great grandmother taken away, that mother, that father, that sister, that brother, that child taken away. But now we have a way of making sure we stay together. But yet we're tearing ourselves apart. So we should make sure that we stay together, that we don't tear each other apart, and we don't tear each other down. If you owe someone an apology, apologize. Even if you think you don't owe them apology, be the bigger person. Bring that unity back. Because yes, don't think they didn't disagree at some point. I think every sibling has a disagreement. Every cousin may have a disagreement. But it's what you do to correct that disagreement that keeps family unity together. It doesn't make sense. We say, "Oh, is so and so coming? I'm not coming." If he coming, I'm not going to come. Or if she come, I'm not coming. I'm not going to be there. Oh, I just don't want to be around these people, or I just don't want to. These are your people. We have to look at God in this sense. Some of the stuff we do, some of the stuff we have done, why is God continually to bless us? So who are we to have the right to say, "Oh, I don't want to be around these people"? What if one day God say, "I know I kept my promise and I wouldn't destroy this world, but I'm getting sick and tired of these people and I don't want them around anymore"? That's how I look at things now. And we all have a bad past, some of us. Some of us has a good past. But at the end of the day, it's what you're doing with your life today to correct your wrong from yesterday. Don't allow your yesterday be your future. Don't allow that incident with a loved one change your future with family. And trust me, some stories are not always right. Some stories are fabricated so you can have a pity party for the person that's telling the story. Until you get those two people in a room and then the truth comes out. Because see, there's always two sides to a story. And then there's that middle part. That's the truth. So once again, make that one decision to say, did that person do the right thing for me at that time? Was that person doing the right thing? Do I owe this person an apology? Did I tell the right story about that person? That's what you need to sit and ask yourself. Stop being segregated in the mind and in the heart. Stop. Because at the end of the day, that's still your family, and there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do to change it. There's nothing you can do to uh, make that cousin not be your cousin, that sister not be your sister, that brother not be your brother, your grandparents, siblings, children not be your aunt and uncle's children. There's nothing you can do to change that. We might as well just get over it and move forward and bring that unity back. If we don't have that, y'all, we are lost as a family. And I don't want to be lost in my family. I want them to know cousin Yo-Yo is going to be there as long as she's able to get there. I'm going to drive to Edgefield, South Carolina every year as long as God give me breath and as long as God give me the means to be able to. I am going to go back to Edgefield. I have made that prayer to be able to go walk the streets where my great grandmother walked, to see my family members of her grandmother, descendants, her grandfather's descendants. I made a vow and a prayer with that I can always have a connection to them, talk to them, see them. Even if we just socialize through social media, I want to know who they are. I don't want that mindset of, I don't know these people. Yeah, you say they my people. You say they related to us, but I don't care. I don't know them. I didn't grow up with them. That is the wrong attitude to have. That is definitely a wrong attitude to have. So we have to do a lot of changes within ourselves. We do. Let's give that love. Let's go out to them reunions. Let's go out to them family gatherings, those family cookouts. Do that potluck. Because I know everybody doesn't feel like cooking. I know I usually cook all the time. And I do all the cooking. But guess what? The love of family will give you the strength and the energy to do what you need to do to bring them together. And that's what I love about it, bringing them together. If I can keep them brought together and stay together, that's all the blessing that I need. Well, I am your host, Yolo Schubert, and this is our last show for the season. We will see you in September 2024, the first Thursday of the month. We will be back with more shows, and we hope to see you then. But in the meantime, enjoy your summer, enjoy your time getting to know new family, enjoy that summer of your children getting to meet new cousins, an aunt, an uncle that they didn't know they had, a family member that they didn't know they had. I thank you for joining us. I am your host, Yolo Schubert, and I send you peace and blessings. And I wish everybody a safe and prosperous summer.